Rumble has the worst ads. Let me just test to see if it's working. It wasn't. It's giving me some trouble. Okay, there he goes. God, it's the worst fucking ads. It's like Facebook when it gets spammed. Let me check. I closed off the Facebook groups because it kept getting spam. It's kind of like those Rumble ads. It's horrible. Well, it fits this plant like a glove. This plant's just a bottom of the barrel planet, pretty much. Not all of it, but a lot of it is. This is kind of this came to mind. I don't know what's going on energetically. I just feel like I'll bring this up. Might be some loose perspective. I don't know. Just whatever. Just take it for whatever it is. Because I've had some run-ins here, and not very often, with people that have been part of the military, and have actually been to Area 51. Maybe not inside, or if they have, they haven't said it. There might be some, I don't know, but some kind of you feel bad about it or whatever their lives, or because it's some of the they work in the military for a certain time period, and then they get a high-paying job somewhere, like a security company, whatever. And like, as politicians do the same thing, like when they retire, you get on a board. Not to name names, but So I've been, around that a little bit, not much, but it's funny how they, like life is given to them. Like here you go. And I don't know, if you saw anything there, but whatever. I wasn't. Who knows? But Area 51 and all that. I don't. Whatever. Yeah. Take it for wherever that is. But it's funny how some of these military people are given a lot. Like, you get the wife, you get the kids, you get home, you get all this stuff, and it's still not good enough, or there's something there that's. And then they wonder why other people are bitter. Well, they don't know what other people are going through too. But it's like I don't know. It's like some of them might have sold out to get to that position, and not the ones that are kind of miserable. They're probably do not sell themselves out. They're just life is being, doing its thing. But some of these ex-military people have sold themselves out. And there might be some a little bit remorse, or trying to maybe not think about it too much. Whatever, however you want to look at that. Yeah, it's weird how this has come up recently. I don't know why. I don't know if we want to have a disclosure or whatever it might be, or Trump would turn into an alien. I don't freaking know anymore. Yeah, the election's still kind of. I could care less about the election at this point. I mean, either way, they're going to screw everybody over no matter what. So what? Yeah, you might get your person in there, but they'll find some way again, I guess. That's just how it works. But, if you're in for punishment, go for it. Yeah, if you want to live, they're not talking about that. They just want their person in, and not realizing what's going to happen after that. Whatever, it's just this world it's a thrift store planet, so. Yeah, this world feels like it's gotten hit by like all these nuclear bombs, and this is like the aftermath of it. That's why we got McDonald's and we got Walmart. It's the best we can do. We're allowed to survive here for whatever reason. We're allowed to have some kind of life here, if it's a hollow existence for the most part, depending on who you are. Some are living a hollow experience and not even realizing it. But it's like we're allowed to occupy a planet that's, I don't know, ass backwards. It's weird. Yeah, I figure I'd just live to 30 and get the hell out of here. Instead, we get to stay here forever and watch it, whatever it's doing. But the military energy is just kind of interesting. How it's like, because you get, yeah, they ask you for like if you want to be part of the Black Ops stuff. I know a little bit about that, not a lot, but they ask certain individuals there. You want to go on these secret missions, but obviously it's all blacked out. You might not remember your family or whatever. You can imagine that. I imagine it pays well, I guess, but your soul is fucked. And yeah, that's where some of those, when they get all of a sudden you're like half human, half fish, and all of that, you turn to like some half breed thing, or some of that probably. Well, you agree to it, and so who knows? But it's, anyway. Yeah, secret missions, obviously. I don't know if they take them to the moon or whatever, who knows? um, but it's just funny how some of these military people are, I don't know, I think some of them have sold out, yeah. Coming from more of the sold out perspective. They become successful, kind of in a decayed successful, maybe too, kind of like living like a king. But you know how that goes. You kind of destroy yourself at the same time to some level, with food and whatever else. But they're given a lot. They're given, here's a family, here's that. And then the rest of us that are here that are the alien ground crew, depending on who you are, you're allowed to have the basic needs, but that's it. As some know that. Like, you can't have anything else other than that. Like, something will come in and take it. Or you can be around someone who's psychotic, and like I was around a person that was like, she'll go to a bar and try to save people. And she had like demons all over her place. And it wasn't like the demons like this will be fun demons. These are like, no, it wasn't anything like that. It's like a mind screw more than anything else. It wasn't like, well, at least that was fun. It had none of that. So yeah, so they just send that crap. Here's a demonic possessed person. Have fun with that. So yeah, I think I'll pass on that. That's about it. Just give you the crap. Just give you the scrappings of what's at the bottom of the barrel, just to mess with it, just to get you to go crazy and all. Obviously, a lot of people go through that already. But the ground crew energy is just, you'd be surprised. There's entities here just, like, you're allowed to function here, go to Walmart or whatever and just exist. Yeah. That's about all it is. So what? Like, is the disclosure thing's gonna happen? I wouldn't know. Actually, like, who knows? It's they've been talking about that for years, so obviously something like that they can't tell you anyway, for obvious reasons. Obviously, then there's others that are online that just are like the alien encyclopedias and just cult or whatever, that psychotic, whatever. It's like the kindergarten version of everything. It's like, here's this being, we had dinner with that being. Who cares? It's like, is this kindergarten? What is this? It's like, I don't care what these beings do. It's like, it's not gonna help us. This world's so nuts. Is that gonna help a crazy planet? No. It's like, okay, it's better in other places. Okay, great. How does that help us here at all? It's like, so you just become more envious of other planet aliens, and you start worshiping them. It doesn't really help us here in crazy town, narcissistic thrift store planet. That's been hit by like 100 nuclear bombs at some point in the past, and thinks it's the best thing in the universe, which is not. It says it is, but not really. It thinks it is. But I guess when you make all these mistakes, society of the past makes all these stupid mistakes over and over again. and it's like you're agreeing to being beat up. You're agreeing to domestic violence, and yeah, I guess say you are strong to go through that, but you keep going through it over and over and over. It's like, okay, when are you gonna like step out of that? Okay, never. Thousands, couple of thousand years of getting beat up, or more, 10,000, whatever, 50,000 years. Jeez. Sure. Yeah, you plan on upgrading anytime soon? Nope. Nope. Well, some do, and they never come back here. So yeah. So it's like the alien energies coming here. Is it like kind of like I get the image of like when it doesn't. This could be disclosure energy, but it's kind of like opening up the hood to the car, and so you can see the problems. But that's it. It's like we'll just open it up. You guys can see all your crap. We can direct you, sort of, kind of, but it's not our problem. We're not gonna get. You're not gonna pull us into your little nonsense. For all you think you're the best world in the universe, and it just, you know, yeah. And of course, we are helping the spirit realms because the spirit realm gets screwed up here too. So the spirit realm gets abused, so it keeps coming back here. You get abused here as a human. You get abused in this, you go into the spirit realm. You're still feeling that abuse energy. You get pulled back into this place and just go to the abuse over and over, and you kind of justify, say this is a good thing. I'm smart being here, and so on. Not to say you're not smart, but I don't know. It's just you keep doing the same thing over and over again. So yeah, it's kind of like wearing the blindfold and being spun around, and you're trying to find your way out. Of course, obviously, when you incarnate here, you have to go through the human perspective, go through all the stuff, go through life stuff. Just yeah, it's rough. It just but those that are like the ground crew, the alien ground crew people that are here, is obviously just different versions of it, different levels. Some get pulled into this world, all devices here, and can't get themselves like, I don't know if they call it fail, but they're not doing so great. Yeah, those that get abducted and all that, well, whatever, that's their, well, I'm not gonna go into that. But the alien ground crew here are just getting mutilated, basically. It's taking a beating, that's for sure. It's like, what is the silver lining outcome? I don't know. You think there would be one at some point, but who knows? Of course, most of the population is laughing at all this and just living in the same cycle over the conspiracy stuff. It's like, God, just whatever. This world doesn't have to be that way, but whatever. Some are enjoying it. It's entertainment. It's whatever. Even spiritual stuff can be entertainment, especially when you have the space Jesus stuff. People want to worship that. Something's wrong with this place. God, God help us all. Yeah, it's a fun planet. Yeah. Alright, so I'm talking about common price stations. Maybe. Is this even working? Yeah, it's really slow. Yeah, I think it would be better. Anyway. A chakra also. So yeah. So yeah, the military energies on that. Yeah. So those that like I said, those that are not all of them obviously sell themselves out, but certain ones do. Yeah, and then they like look at me and start criticizing me and all that, and it's so fucking trashing me. He's like, God, I give up. He's like, you want to live this? Probably not. Go live your fluff life and go live, yeah, whatever. Just go pay for all your kids' stuff or whatever. Just go live in your Wild Wild Land. Yeah, the Pop Tart reality or the lollipop reality. And then complain about that and living the king's life basically and queen's life, but just self-decay and all that. But we're doing this stuff and getting hopefully somewhere. But yeah, that's where the galactic. This world is like Vietnam. At least that's one way of looking at it. It's Vietnam with Walmart, and like I say, you're allowed to, it's not the same. Obviously, you're not living kind of you're in the jungle called society, and you have all this conspiracy stuff and all that. It's like God, it just gets so old. It's just obvious. Obviously, I mean, finding like I said, like if you get to a, it doesn't have to exactly be a higher dimension, but just you know get to a frequency where you don't have to go through all this, but you have to keep that going. Like if a reptilian or whatever comes in to try and manipulate your society and they fail, that's a good thing. That's hard too. Like you want to, like be a wealthy person, for example, doesn't get conned. There's con artists, but you might get some hits and you might get some wins, but it's not taking you down. And this place got taken down a long time ago, thousands of years and so on. It's kind of justifying its failures, telling everybody how it's smart. Well, because it made a huge mistake in the past, say during Atlantean times and so on. It's kind of like, all right, well, let's go through this, and it's like, okay, but it's like a domestic abuse, basically. And all the galactic beings come and beat society down. It's just like a domestic violent world, basically. One way of looking at it. Kind of like Vietnam, because Vietnam was pretty rough. Of course, you have World War II and also in Korea. I don't know what those stories are, but either way, I just use that first. Because even in Vietnam, like the enemy, or I'm not sure if the Vietnamese are necessarily enemy. They were just surviving, but they lived underground. They were underground, and they would just jump out and attack the soldiers and all that. It's like shit. And it was like an area. Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I get like this was kind of because the galactic crew comes here, not aware of all this stuff, devices and all that gets pulled into it. Like Vietnam, like say some of them are underground and they come out of nowhere and attack the troops, and the troops are all freaking losing their minds and all the PTSD that's afterwards and all that. It's like just a losing war, basically. And that's what this planet probably feels that way. So it's, hopefully that makes sense. At least from a galactic ground crew point of view. The regular people are just doing great. Like, this is just the fucking best thing ever. Give me some Walmart. And this place is awesome. Thrift store planet. Hit by, a million different nuclear bombs. Sure. Conspiracy men, need somebody to worship this whole election thing. Like, God, give me a break. And then if you're can you guys like upgrade from all this? No, too busy. Was it World War III? Was it China might do something? China isn't doing anything, just falling apart. Israel is kind of interesting because I'm not sure if anything happened with that, but that could trigger I doubt World War III, but obviously it's not great there. But either way, it's just we're definitely going through World War III type of a phase of it, but not the whole thing. We're just pieces of it. But hopefully hopefully the Vietnam stuff makes some sense here. Yeah, because you're here living this so-called dull, normal life. And it's like so bland and half dead, half you don't feel alive here, and you can't really care about the sports and anything, practically anything that's here. It's like, so this is what you call fun here, huh? God. Yeah, and even there is domestic violence there too. And that's, it's where some of these people that get in these relationships and then end up being like a creep, like some of these beings are like a demonic beings. So these people bring into their lives and just really creepy predator on their kids and all that. It's like that's normal here though. So the idea, like I say, upgrading is possible. But obviously, people have to go through their cycle. They have to go through all this to get there. And those, like, part of the ground crew frequency, already been through this at some level. And so here to bring in this next era. I'm assuming it's the alien stuff, but you see no indication of it. At least on a physical level, because it can't happen still, for sure. And of course, some of these, which I picked up, some of these conspiracy people don't want it to happen, because they get exposed. Like, they're supposed to be like these hipster spiritual people, and some of them are not actually the good guys, or more the bad guys, but they don't even know. We're just completely just stupid and clueless, and just a kid, and just dumb. A lot of that out there. Yeah, like they talk to the Illuminati or something. I actually take that seriously. Like, if you're talking to the Illuminati, first off, I doubt it. Not if it's online. If it's anything relevant, no. And all this conspiracy stuff too. If it was really, because the government's kind of smart, because they're just taxing these conspiracy people. It's like, yeah, trash us all day. Just give us money. We're just, it's kind of like the mafia. Just tax them to death. Instead of just closing them out. So you can think whatever you want. And they're probably not half of those things that they're being told that they are, but it might be. I mean, obviously it has issues, but, because if it was a real authority, obviously I talked about this before, but if it was a real dictatorship here, you wouldn't be able to talk about the government at all. You'd be in jail or dead. And so instead of just they're allowed to live, they just have to be taxed. So that's kind of smart when you think about it, I guess. Just make money off of them. Say whatever you want, or just keep screwing you over. It's just, I don't know. So that's the economics of mafia. So yeah. As for you can do a little bit of the channeling on that, the military frequency that's here. Not to go into all of the, not to go too deep on that, but to, I guess get a bit of perspective on that. I guess, they want the good life. Then it really is the king's life, though, when you think about it. Those that are upper class, over middle, upper class, whatever, because they get a house, kids, family, whatever. Of course, they might complain about all that, but still, they get it, and they don't get attacked like the ground crew people and get stripped down and energetically attacked by who knows what, and just want you to just live a plain existence. Just, F you, basically. How many people can really relate to that? Some people I know definitely can't. Most can't. Most are just, you're out of your freaking mind. Most are just, I think the grass is greener there. But anyway, all right, we're going to some level. Bland existence. Sports. God, no thanks. There's better planets out there, that's for damn sure. This is not one of them. This is just remnants. This is like the pieces of other planets that lost to war. So all right, we're going to do a plating connection real quick on the military stuff, and just leave it at that. So, all right, blessings. Greetings, Palladians. One moment. With those that, the military, they just want a good life, and it can be very toxic. It can also be very judgmental towards other. Well, so those that have been in these military, it's kind of like the upper class to some level, maybe not the full level. Energetically, yes, there can be some slowing out going on there, but then they're starting to feel like almost paranoid towards others that don't have that life, and they're not well off, and just feel other people might either want that life or they feel guilty that they even have that life. A lot of it's guilt because they feel like they should be giving more to society and they're not. They're giving more to themselves and just living the high life and just, there's, it's not always what it's cracked up to be. So, yeah, they might look like they have, modest everything, but still, yeah, is it so? Yeah, it's kind of. It's yes, there's a bit of that. So, but a lot of them are paranoid. Some don't care, but some are. They want to redeem themselves, but they don't know how to do it. As to the ground crew frequencies that are here, yes, it's you knew what you were getting into coming here. Not that that's helping, uh, but yes, information is scarce. Well, if you look at it from a Vietnam point of view, you're out in the middle of nowhere and you feel like you got no friends or no nothing. I mean, you're still surviving, but yeah, you feel kind of abandoned also. But information's scarce because, you know, it's a war. You can't know. So, but it's yes, it's not like you're living out in, you live in society's muck, basically. It's not that you're in a forest getting shot at. That might be more, at least, if you survive it, it's at least, yeah, this is a different realm. Now you're in a mind controlled society instead. That is, not all are victim, but there's a lot of that going on. All these different agendas, not just from your government, but from your people too, that want to make a buck, basically to survive and just kind of yes, your conspiracy religions for sure. And it's just, they're scared of what can happen. I mean, at least though, yeah, some of them are genuinely scared, so they're just doing all they can to survive. Feel like the monster's gonna come and get them. you know, is that justified? Not really. Well, if they have more peace and love in their hearts, but that's not as exciting as, especially if you're trying to be a media sensationalist. The media kind of morphs the mind, when you're on social media, where you have a presence. So you kind of create this reality, this persona, as some of you have seen, and they start believing their BS basically. This has happened in religions. They think the apocalypse is going to happen every year. It's kind of the same thing, but done through conspiracy groups too. It's inner paranoia. It's not always about a financial. Some of it has to do with just like the soul, like what's going to happen to my soul after this. And yeah, and some of them are just ass backwards. They just are. It's like they're trying not to be tricked, but they've been tricked by every trickster known to man. Paranoid, thinking the world's going to come to an end. Just cannot get out of that mindset for anything. Now, some of you might feel the traumas of those other realities where you have been through World War III scenarios. That's a whole different story, though. That's different. Some of these others they just know that saying those words, yeah, they trick their mind into thinking it's going to happen. They surely do, yes, a kind of a poisonous, delusional energy. And it's not just on this planet, there's other worlds that do the same thing. So it's not, yeah, it's just, yes, in this world, it's just, yeah, is at a point, because of technology that's here, society is being altered for a disclosure to come in. But yes, not to fix everything, but to lay out a new reality for humans to become. Because you have technology, so it's not where you would want it. It's a piece of it, but it's a tool to help you repair the planet at some point. It's not quite here yet, obviously, but you're seeing some remnants of it. But the modern world is very different than the past. You're not women by candlelight and, you know, chopping wood. You're in a different society now. So it doesn't, yes, alien disclosure is not maybe coming in as some of you visualize or like it to. Not that you want a savior, just want, you know, want out of the stress. Completely understand. Most is justified. There are some those that need a savior, but for the most part, many just want change. Get to the Galactic family, feel loved and accepted, because maybe you here don't feel that loved, all that accepted. I mean, do you want to be loved by a world that's paranoid? That will turn on you in a second. You get in a relationship, and all of a sudden that relationship turns psychotic. Or even trying to turn you psychotic against your partner when you're not wanting that. So, you know, humans here have been, you know, it's not just reptilians that are doing this. It's felines have their issues here also. Well, the feline frequencies, self-indulgence is one to, you know, Paris Hilton type of life to some level. That's kind of the Palladian toxic and narcissism reality. Not all are like that, but give you some understanding. The canine is known to be more down to earth, but sometimes too down to earth. Like they can take abuse, so they put up with it. You know, like you have a dog, they, you know, put up with it. They eat their own crap basically if they have to. A lot of people kind of do that. They eat other people's crap energetically. Or they're just their bad food. Like McDonald's, for example. Well, McDonald's has its good days, but a lot of their bad days. But either way, it's just, yeah, McDonald's energy is, it could be a better frequency altogether. It is to just lower the frequency here. But for those that are already at that frequency, it just works just fine. So it's like motor oil that is, yeah, kind of muddy, but for them to get through their lives at what they're at, it kind of works. So it's better than starvation, let's put it that way. You know, nothing's perfect here, as you can see. Some of that is there to help though, but overall your path here, yes, it's your mental health, mental state to survive it. Because there are beings here just, they don't, yes, there's beings here, as you know, live off of chaos. And it's like they get insecure here. Like, if they can't live without chaos, yeah, like all their fears going to the World War, they think the same thing. Demonic beings and so on. They believe World War III is going to happen, and that goes into society's energy. So it's like a lot of demonic beings are actually afraid of their own existence too. So they grab onto humans for safety, but all their fears grab onto them also. So it goes on and on. There's so many different layers to all of this. This is why this is done by video and not by just writing it out. Because when you read it, it's like, it's hard to believe it. But then when you do a video like this, it's hard to believe it also. But you kind of, you know, it's easier to take in, you can say, for some cases. But writing it out, if we just give you text on all this, it'd be like, what am I even reading? It's like, it's just so, at some point all this will be written down so you can just digest in a different way, but you're kind of in the early stages of what you're heading into as for the new era that's coming in.